Welcome to the Pest Finder Professionals Podcast. This is your resource for debunking marketing myths and unlocking growth in the pest control industry. Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that can propel your business forward. And we also have exclusive interviews with pest professionals and insights from entomologists and wildlife experts. Get ready to transform your approach to pest control. Hi guys, this is Jock here from Pest Finder Professionals, and today I want to jump into something that is really important. 2025, the whole buzz is all about AI. Whether you're frightened of it, whether you're wary of it, whether you want to embrace it, the reality is that it's here to stay. And so what does this mean for pest control companies? Well, when we come right back, we're going to jump into why it's really important to change things now and how you operate within your pest control organization so that you can be ahead of the game for the future and don't be the one left catching up or being left behind. When we come right back, we're going to jump right into that. God bless. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, AI in pest control. Really, did we ever think that there was going to be a day that it would come to this? But here it is, it's here. And the way of doing things in your company is going to change dramatically. AI, ladies and gentlemen, is changing the game. Soon, everything, even Google, is going to be an afterthought. They will have a new AI engine. They'll keep, as they're trying to catch up. You have got other countries. China is way ahead of us, which is terrible, really. But OpenAI is just launched its recent bot. What they call as an AI assistant that is going to be able to work with you personally and operate your day-to-day tasks, this kind of thing. So that's where we're going to jump in, because the reality is that the way eventually that your customers are going to be searching is going to be utilizing their AI assistants. And this means that the way you even write articles or the way that you deal with things are changing. And they're not really going to go on to, in the future, they're not going to go on to Google or Bing, or they're just going to go to their AI assistant and they're going to say, hey, I've got ants and I need to find a local ant company. And so the way that you approach AI now is going to be different. The way that you approach your marketing is going to be different. It's more of a process of thinking more along a conversational language model, being able to develop content that is structured really for AI search. And while it's not massive at the moment, it's definitely going to be changing the way that we do things. And it's important that you don't just jump in to an AI model and just write any old article because everybody else is going to be doing the same thing. It's important that you really work with people that know how to utilize these AI assistants, that also know how to utilize these AI tools, because no matter what you think, it's not going to be, there's still going to have to be some level of human interaction. And so if you don't want to get left behind, then obviously, you work with a consultant like myself that knows how to write, actually knows how to do these things, that knows how to develop content, develop media, and to be able to identify certain tones and intonations and how you can kind of work with this new way of working. So what you're going to find is that customers are going to eventually go on to their AI assistant and they're just going to ask questions. So it's a little bit different. Frequently asked questions are going to be important. It's going to be still important to have in your website. It's going to be important to have in some of your content. But the way that you structure your written articles now is going to be different as well. It is not going to be written in the same way. You're not going to do it in the same way. Even if you use AI, you're going to have to structure it. You're going to have to have someone that knows how to structure this. And that's really, really important. And whilst this is going to happen, the way that your customers are going to approach a problem is different as well. They may start to see a sign of a termite, and they might not even know that they've got termites. They might just say, hey, I'm looking at me baseboards here, and I can see there's sawdust and there's trails, and what could it be? And then the AI search is going to come up with the information that gives them that, and then it's going to go through this whole process of identifying. Okay, you might have termites. Okay, we need to get a pest inspection. Okay, who can I find locally in the area? And if your content is top class, if your content is the stuff that eventually AI search is going to pick up, then you're the one that's going to win. You're the one that's going to be able to get that lead, that call that's coming in. So it's important that you look at, if you're a pest control company owner, that you look at changing things now, because if you don't and you just continue with the old, even the ads are going to change as well dramatically. You continue doing the stuff that's just that everybody's doing now, you will be left behind. And obviously that's not what we want to look at doing. You got to think about how as well, I never thought for one moment that AI would kind of be able to think like a human, but there you are. It's getting so close that these reasoning models and these large language models are starting to almost become more human in its orientation. I did a test recently where I developed an article just purely through AI, and I checked everything, and it was picked up as AI. And then I developed another one purely through no AI, just through knowing how to write. I mean, I've written books, I've written articles. My team has also had things published in national, international media, so we know how to write. So when we're developing a piece of content without using any models, and then we run it through the detector, it still actually was picking up, a 40% as it was an AI detected. Now that might sound a little bit, well, you used AI. No, we didn't. But the reality is that AI is getting so good at learning that it is actually getting more reasoning, is beginning to really, it is kind of thinking like a human, and that content is coming out. So there's always going to be an aspect that may get picked up. But you can also detect AI the way it's written as well very easily. And even the way that in your company, it's not just about the written content. It's also going to be about the content for your videos and your media as well. There's still going to be some play, and I need to do another episode on utilizing photography and how you can use photography. And because even if you develop AI photography, that's not going to hit as well. So there's aspects of AI that are not going to take it by storm. There's always going to be that capture that moment, capture that real image. It captures the thing at the time that really hits someone and makes them kind of be a wow. People will start getting tired of seeing constant AI images. But what they won't get tired of is being able to say, hey, I need to get a pest control. It's detected I have a rat infestation or I have a mouse infestation. I need to get that company. And AI will help you as a company owner basically streamline the process where they come on, their assistant books you, everything is booked in, you get a notification, everything's done, your lead comes through, everything is booked, and identifies. Even it won't double book and things like that. So this is the way that it's going, and while it's not here 100% at the moment, it's certainly worth moving forward in that direction, moving more progressively towards this. So you can imagine that, AI is going to schedule things for you. It's going to maybe even offer an educational stance for your visitors on your website, or even their assistant connects with you, and all of a sudden you're giving them information that's giving them tips on how to deal with cockroaches in their homes, or maybe some tips that they need to do. Doesn't mean it's going to take away your business. It just means it's you're going to be supporting in a different way, and you're always going to. The great thing is AI is not going to go out and do pest control, right? So you guys are absolutely in a safe at the moment, right? Unless they've got robots and things like that. But in a safe industry, that there's always going to constantly be a need for it. But how you approach it and how you make your business grow, or how you intend your business to grow, AI has to be a part of that. And so that's why we're moving forward in specializing in this side of things because there's so much to learn, and you want to be focused primarily on growing your business and interacting with your clients and doing the pest control than having to worry about all the technology and everything that goes around with it. So it's a necessary evil that we can either embrace it or we can be left behind with it. And it's going to be able to automate all your other processes as well. So eventually it's going to get to the point where you're running, you might be running low in Thermidor, and it's going to identify that because you'll maybe, one of the technicians will go out there and say, I'm in the store, we're running low in Thermidor, order some Thermidor, and it's just going to automate everything, where it's going to save so much time in how we do things. And even in inspections, eventually there's going to be AI that was going to help in different inspections and the way that you do everything. It's all going to be automated, all going to come through that AI process. So start thinking about moving towards this now so that you're not actually left behind at all. And like I've said, it's better to work with an organization that kind of helps to steer you in that direction, or a consultant like me who will help you steer in that direction. As I've mentioned many times before, I'm not an SEO agency. I don't have, I work privately, one-to-one with my small team and clients, and integrate with our clients as well, and developing that media, that connection, that content, all that kind of stuff. So you've really got to as well think outside the box. So it's important that you don't, even the content that you're developing, whether it be audio. Here's the thing: let's talk about the language learning model that they've got. It's looking for natural prose, looking for natural way that you create. It's looking for a narrative, a story. So you need to also be a storyteller. And this is why I've always been a great proponent of, pest control companies should be developing their own podcasts now and should be chatting. We should be getting on a chat and talking, because that's natural language. And then we can create an article from that, and the video from that, and the audio from that gets you great backlinks as well. But obviously, all that content is going to get picked up when these AI assistants start to come out. When these AI assistants start to build up, you've got more and more assistants. You'll have an assistant doing your financials. You'll have an assistant booking all your clients, and you're going to have an assistant. So eventually that's the way it's going to go. And whether you like it or not, it's coming, guys. It's really coming. I'd love to know what you think. Are you scared of this AI move? Or are you ready to embrace it? Or are you totally confused that you don't know how to deal with it and how it's going to help, how it's going to operate in your business? I'd love to know. So, send in your questions and stuff like that. To implement this in your business, it can be really complicated. It's not just a case of you as a business owner just jumping on board, getting a little app and putting it in there and bang, you're done. It really needs to have some professional connection, professional understanding, and how to integrate all this kind of content. So it's important that you don't just jump into something without having any kind of knowledge or getting any help. Because if you make a mistake, especially with anything to do with legal compliance, or you make any mistakes with how you implement it, it could cost you your business, And don't think as well, guys, that if you implement it tomorrow, that your whole business is going to grow and start to change from tomorrow. You're preparing to get in now because that's the way things are going. It's like when we had the .com boom, right? We have the .com boom and people were against it, and then all of a sudden, people didn't like it, and then they were forced to embrace it. By the time that they had caught up, the people that had already embraced it in the beginning was so far ahead. And that's where you guys want to go. You want to be so far ahead of that, right? That's really, really important. So you need to look at, how do you start? You need to look at where is your website at the moment as well? Where is your content? What are you doing? Start to have a look at your business throughout and think, okay, so where do I think that AI is going to come in and change the way I do things? Yes, it's going to be how assistants are integrating with clients. Yes, it's going to be how they provide information. It's also going to be the development of your website. It's also going to be maybe the audio, the media that you put out there. But also think about, well, how is AI going to affect my my technicians? Am I going to have to try and implement AI for these technicians to work with as well? So there may need to be an educational stance about that. There could be a lot more that we don't understand yet that may come up, right? This is why, current administration here in the US is investing so much in AI, because there's no doubt about it, it's going to go that way, right? It could also be that, maybe inspection, I don't know, maybe inspections will change where people will take their own images and it will upload straight away, and the AI assistant will identify things, send it through, tell them what they need, and you won't need to go out for an inspection. You just need to go out and do the treatment, right? So you have to think, what is AI going to do in my business now, right? So it's important to plan for the future, plan ahead now. Look at your content. Is your content is it not that good? How could you twist that? How could you change that? How could you bring more of a narrative in? How could you be more of a storyteller? How can you change your content now so that it gets picked up by AI agents and AI assistants? Eventually, as I said, it's not going to happen overnight. This is going to take some time, but you've got to really think about it now. Right? You've got to really think about the quality of your content now, and changing stuff now, and looking at even your videos and your images, and even how you interact with people as well, and your ordering systems, all of that kind of stuff going on. So it's here to stay, guys. I'd love to know what you're thinking about. Certainly, we're moving towards that in Pest Finder Pro and Content Amplified. That's exactly what we're doing. We are specializing on that side of things. So if you want a little bit of advice, if you want a little bit of help to move towards this new way of doing things in the industry, then drop us a message. I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to discuss that. But also, if you've got people that are in-house that want, start to think about this now. Start to think about how we're going to change things, how you as a pest control owner or even a pest control startup, how you're going to change things. Here's the brilliant thing to think of, guys. If you're a small pest control company and you're getting overshadowed by the big guys like Terminix and some of the other ones, some of the big like Ehrlich, I can never say their name right. The playing field is going to be leveled, right? It's going to be down to how you come across and how your content gets found in the AI search. It's how you are providing that information to the end user via these assistants, via everything else. So think about it. You're a small competitor now. You can compete with the big guys, but you need to start now. You need to start looking at changing things and developing things now as things progress and move forward. And remember, there's still always going to be, eventually in years to come, Google will have changed so much it won't be the Google search engines. And we've already seen that search engines, search results are changing dramatically. They're desperately trying to catch up with AI, desperately trying to catch up with everything else. There's still going to be a need for your local business and all that kind of stuff. At the moment, there's no such, Google business for, AI search or anything else. It's purely down to natural language and large language model learning. So I don't see that they're going to start having these directories and stuff, but your markup on your website and all this kind of stuff is going to be really important. So from 25 onwards now, this year and 25 is when this has to be the year of embracing AI and not being fearful of it. So drop us a line. Let me know what you think. Got any comments, then comment. And I'll look forward to hearing from you guys. We'll be bringing out more episodes soon. Again, I apologize. It's been a while since I actually have had an episode because we had Hurricane Helene up here. So many other things have been happening personally in my life now. But Hurricane Helene put us back months and months and months. So the podcast was not what we were looking for to concentrate on, because so many people, so many homes were destroyed, so many people's lives were destroyed. So we were out doing our bit as well. So glad to be back and look forward to bringing out more episodes for the future. God bless, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Pest Finder Professionals Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for more expert tips and strategies to elevate your pest control business. Join us at pestfinderpro.com and access exclusive features to dominate your market. Until next time, keep thriving and exterminating.